welcome to your Daily 5 for Monday, April 8th, 2024. I've mentioned a couple of times that I canceled Netflix 3 or 4 months ago, I want to say now. I actually don't even remember. But I had mentioned at the same time I had said I was canceling it, and I've said this many times on the shows, I'm pretty sure, that you can always resub to a streaming service for a month if something comes out that you really want to see. And there hadn't been anything on Netflix I really cared about until I started hearing some really positive reviews and from people I trust about the Three Body Problem series, which of course I'd known about because Netflix has heavily advertised it, and you couldn't escape it. It was in a lot of different places, especially online. You would see little things for it all over the place. But I'd never read the books because I knew they were translated, and I had read an excerpt from the first book, and I felt like it was a little too evident that it was translated. It didn't feel like they had finessed it to give it a kind of natural flow, which I don't know. Maybe there isn't a way to do that. Maybe when a book is not written in native English, there is no way to translate it to English without it losing some of its narrative quality, some of what gives a writer their voice. I don't know, but I read a little bit of it and I went, yeah, this feels like something that was run through a translator. But I thought it was an interesting premise. I really liked it, and I thought the idea for it sounded really intriguing, and I was curious how they would make a TV series. So when I saw that the show was getting good reviews, 8 episodes on Netflix, and all released at once, when I saw that it was getting good reviews, or at least it was released all at once when I watched it, yeah, no, they dropped it all at once, because I was going to say it hasn't been out that long, unless I was thinking maybe they did it weekly, but I don't think so. No, I think it's all out at once. At least when I watched it, I went through all 8 episodes in the course of a week. So it definitely was not on a weekly cadence, I can tell you that for sure. In any event, like I said, with the good reviews and everything else, I thought, okay, I'm going to resubscribe at the $7 level with the ad-supported tier, 1080p HD, so no HDR, with ads. I'm okay with ads. I'm used to that from Tubi and some other services, so that doesn't bother me as much as it does other people. And I thought, okay, I've spent more than this on movie rental, so let me give Netflix $8, and hopefully this will be worth it. And honestly, I had a really good time with this series. I was really impressed with it. It's got a fantastic cast. I don't know probably half of them from anything else, or at least I didn't know them immediately. I couldn't pick them out as far as knowing them from other things. But everybody's really good. Great ensemble cast. Some names that you'll know, of course, but also ones I certainly didn't recognize. There's clearly a lot of money that's been put into the series, and I wasn't even watching it in full 4K. I'm sure it looks gorgeous on that, but I was perfectly fine with it in HD, and it certainly is evident that they put some cash into this project. And I think the combination of getting a really good cast, and hopefully some of the money went for that, and the fact that they didn't skimp on things makes this a really easy recommendation for people who are science fiction fans. And again, I didn't read the books, so I don't know if there's drastic changes to it. I read a little bit that made it sound like this 8-episode series covered the first book and a bit of the second one, from what I've read, if it was correct. Which feels about right, because the series ends in a way where if Netflix were to cancel it, and I don't think they will, from what I understand, outside of the actual critical reviews, I think it's one of their top 5 shows, I think, from what I remember. So I think it's performing well enough that it will get at least a second season. And that makes sense if they did a book and a half or so, that maybe only 2 seasons would be needed to wrap it up. But even if they did cancel it, unlike a lot of other things that have been canceled, I feel like there is enough of an ending to this that it's still worth watching. Now, it may not be an entirely satisfying ending for everybody, because especially if you know that there's more story after this in the books, that knowledge might make the ending not enough for you. But also, I think it's an ending, and I don't think they designed it to end at 1 season. I want to be clear about that. I think they intend this to go for at least 1 more season, if not 2. So I'm not saying this is the intent from the way the show is constructed. I'm just saying if a cancellation were to happen, I feel like there is enough of an ending in this 1 8-episode season that I would not be unsatisfied if there was no more. Some people probably would be. I can't say any more without really spoiling it, so I'll get into a detail on the Friday show. But I feel like this is a very solid and well done actually, I shouldn't say solid. It's a well done first season. And I expect there to be more, but if there isn't, I won't be too upset by it. I won't feel like there's a lot left there. It's an interesting way to end a series like this. It may not be an ending for everybody, but I felt like there was enough there. So Three Body Problem, certainly worth subscribing at the $8 level, possibly more depending on how much you hate ads, but I was pleasantly surprised. I was hoping this was good, and I had a very good time with it. Later.